Hi everyone, welcome back to Stow Active. Another week done. Hope you've had a great weekend, and I hope you are coming to me today refreshed and ready to go. So, slightly different format today. Rather than it being a full workout or like a full exercise session, I'm going to take you through a few variations and some exercises you can do at home, and we're going to be using a chair. So this is my chair. It's something I found here in Starbucks. I think it's a seat, but I think it is a chair actually. But you might be using more of a traditional chair or a sofa or something. Anything that has a relatively sturdy raised platform. Okay, so we're going to go through a few exercises that you can do just using your chair. Cool. So first one we're going to do is called a box squat. And okay, so essentially it's the same as a squat, except because we're sitting down, we're stopping that momentum, so we lose a lot of elastic energy in our muscles and they deaden. And then when we drive up, we are really focusing on that concentric contraction of our quadriceps in order to get us up and off the chair. So I'm going to start with my feet in exactly the same position as I would normally do for a squat, shoulder width apart, toes turned out, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to sit down on my low chair, and then I'm going to stand up, okay? I'm making a real effort to stop at the bottom of the movement before I drive up. This is really important to scan through your body when you get to the bottom. So I talk a lot about knees out, chest up, chin up, core engaged, all of those kind of things. And you'll hear me say it over and over and over again about those patterns of movement. So when you get to the bottom here, I want you to scan and check. Am I sat in this position? Is my core engaged? Are my knees out and over my toes? Is my chest up? Is my chin up? Am I feeling controlled and relaxed? If the answer to all those questions is yes, perfect. If I come down and I feel like my knees are coming in like this and I don't have control through my abdominals, then take a second, sit down, set yourself up in that position. So feet glued to the floor, knees turned out, chest up, arms out in front, bang, stand up. Do not let your knees come in, come down. Set up again, feet shoulder width apart, toes out, knees over my toes, chest up, eyes up, bang, drive up. Perfect. That is what we're looking for. So we're really scanning through those movements, checking off in your head, am I in the right position? Does it feel right? If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't, okay? So just check through your body, look at those cues that I'm talking about, feet shoulder width apart, toes out, knees out, chest up, chin up, eyes up, shoulder blades back, core engaged. Think about that list of movements, bang, drive your feet down, chest comes up through the floor. Okay, we're going to do 10 more of those, okay, just to help us scan through it. So I'm sinking down, bang, knees out, chest up, chin up, come down, bang, chest up, chin up. Good. So make sure you're working through those movements. If you want to add a little bit of weight, if you've got some dumbbells, if you've got one big dumbbell, we can either go into a goblet squat where you hold it in the front like this. I think we did it in a different video. Or if you've got some smaller dumbbells, you can always extend them out in front of you just to add that little bit of resistance. But I really want you to focus on that movement and making sure it's perfect. So the next one we're going to do is a tricep dip. So if I move my chair just there, so it's sideways on, I'm going to place the palms of my hands with my fingers facing towards my body on the chair like this. And then I'm just going to slide off, so I'm holding in this position. I'm going to drop down and then push up. So, making sure I'm driving the palms of my hands into the chair and I'm coming up nice and straight. Something that most people will find is shoulders take a little bit of a battering on this. So I want you to really focus on squeezing your shoulder blades back, holding up, staying nice and tight through your arms. Drive your hands into the chair and make sure your feet are coming out as far as you feel comfortable. See, if we're in a nice straight-legged position here, then I'm working really hard through my triceps. If that's too tough, just bend your knees. Bend your knees, drop your bum down to the floor and drive up. Okay, so we're looking for that position rather than that position. But our focus is to work through this tricep muscle and extend through. Chances are you're not going to be able to do that many of those because it's quite a difficult exercise. So again, we're going to aim for like 10 repetitions. So we're going to do another 10 now. But if you're doing these exercises at home, feel free to go back through this list of exercises and maybe do another set of 10 or maybe a couple of sets of 10. Normally we look at, say, doing 3 sets of 10 reps of each exercise. So have a go at that. Next thing we're going to do on our chair is a step up. So I am literally going to step onto the chair and back down. Please make sure that your chair is nice and sturdy and you're not going to fall off. But I'm looking for the chair height to be kind of so that my knee is at a 90-degree bend and I've got probably a 90-degree bend at my hip as well. Okay? And anything slightly above that, the better. So essentially it's like a single leg kind of squat because we're emulating that position where I've got a 90-degree bend at my knees. So if you want to hold on to some dumbbells and add some weight, that's fine. So just stepping up onto the solid surface and going through. This can act as a bit of a cardio segment, so you can move quite quickly through it, and as you get a bit more competent, you can start going quicker, or you can add weight and then focus on that movement, and it's a really good movement, especially if you struggle to get down into that deep squat position, because we're looking at increasing the flexibility of our hamstrings through that position and also increasing the strength of our glutes and our quads with that single leg push. So another 10 of those, and then you can start building up these exercises. Our next one is going to be a feet elevated press up. Okay, so if you struggle with normal press ups, then this is probably a step too far. So go back, focus on making sure your press up is perfect and you can really nail that position and you're doing sort of 10, 15, 20 press ups quite easily. If they are nice and easy, this is a progression, okay? So I can bring my feet up onto the chair and I'm going to bring my hands onto the floor into a standard press-up position. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to make sure that my abs are tight, my core's engaged, and then my nose comes down to the floor in exactly the same manner that I would in a normal press-up position. So the focus is to really lengthen through the spine, control through your abdominals, and make sure we're staying in that nice, solid position. Find out how many reps you can do. It might be 5, it might be 10, it might be 12. And then work on sets of repetitions that mean that you're in a nice, strong position. So if you sort of max out at about 8 and you feel your abs and your back starting to arch, then do 6. 6 perfect, good quality ones. Have a little rest and then do another set of that. So feet up, hands driven into the floor, abs engaged, nose down. Making sure every repetition is perfect. And stop and rest before you start to arch through your spine before you lose that solid, strong position. Because we're looking at developing real strength and resilience through our trunk, through our upper body, so that when I put it into a sporting context, you're less likely to lose balance, lose coordination, or in a contact sport situation, get folded like a deck chair. So these things are really important. Cool, moving on. We're gonna look at a drop jump. So this is all about landing mechanics. So I'm gonna stand on my chair and I'm gonna jump off the chair. Or I'm gonna step off the chair and I'm gonna land in a real strong position. Think about it as if you're walking the plank. So you're just stepping off your chair with one foot, and then I'm landing in that strong, stable position. I want you to land in a position where you would feel comfortable exploding or accelerating from. So I'm up on my box like so, step off, I've got a slight bend in the knee. See, I'm leaning forward, so I'm prepared to move. My feet are flat to the floor, which means I have control. It means I can go in any direction. Once I'm in this direction, I could accelerate over there, or I could accelerate over there, or I could go forward, or I can just stop and hold. The focus is on being in a strong, stable position in order to accelerate from. Does that make sense? So we're really looking for that control, boom, and I can accelerate and move wherever I want. So you're looking for about 10 reps of these and just making sure our landing is perfect. A progression from that is an acceleration upwards afterwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step off, I'm going to land, and then I'm going to jump into the air. So I'm looking to explode off the floor as quickly as I can as soon as my toes hit the floor. And then land nice and controlled. So we're going to step off and accelerate up. That was a poor one. I thought I was going to fall back and land on the chair and really embarrass myself. But I didn't. I saved it. And land. Okay? So, again, make sure you've got a stable, sturdy position. You might want to go out into the garden and find a small wall or a raised surface. You might have a box of some sort, or just use a chair, or just use the sofa. So just step off, bang, hit the floor, nice, quick acceleration off. And we're really focusing on that acceleration up and that control and that stability whilst we're going through those exercises. So the next one we're going to do is a really difficult one. It's a single leg squat, okay, often called a pistol squat. If you are really strong, and I mean really strong, you can probably take one leg out, sink all the way down until your bum hits the floor and then you drive back up. That is like the holy grail. That's the position we're looking for. That is incredible. If you can do that, well done. That's amazing. Focus on doing reps of that. So 8 to 10 reps of each leg if you can, and then build from there. That is kind of where we're going for. If you can't, like me, then we're going to use a chair. And I'm regretting how low this is now, actually. So I'm going to stand on one leg. I'm going to take one leg out in front, and I'm just going to sit down on the chair, and then I'm going to come up. Wearing the wrong trainers for this. These are running shoes. So less stable. So that's the reason it's looking so wobbly. I'm going to come down and then come up. I'm making sure, same as every squat, I'm braced through this area of my abdominals. I'm keeping my chest up and I'm keeping my chin up. So I'm coming down and then driving up. Okay? I want you to focus on your knee and your toe being in line. So if you feel your knee coming in or going out, then maybe regress back to our two-footed squats, or maybe bring the chair a little bit higher. Okay, this is quite a low one. So leg comes out. We're working on that stability on that drive. And our knee is going over our toes. Really tough exercise that, but one that's perfect for just building into an accessory to like normal squats or any kind of deadlifting that we might be doing in the gym as well. Because we're really focusing on our asymmetry, on working one side really hard and then working on the other, okay? So that's a really, really good exercise for developing single leg strength. But also, like, if you can build up and do those single leg pistol squats, wow, seriously, seriously good, good effort. So our last one we're going to go through is called a Bulgarian split squat. So we've talked about split squats. I'm sure you've all heard of lunges, where we're doing another single leg variation. So we're focusing on all of our strength and our control coming through one leg. And this is a little bit like our feet raise press ups. It's basically the lower body equivalent. So taking one leg out in front, and then this back leg comes just onto my chair and stabilizes, and then my back leg, my front leg is the one that's going to work. Also, really good hip flexor stretch, okay? So if you suffer with like tight hip flexors, if you're sitting down all day, every day, and you can't, and you're getting tighter and tighter through there, then this is a really great hip flexor stretch, just bringing your knee down, driving there. But with our Bulgarian split squat, we're dropping down and coming up. So perfect if you've just got a raised surface, chair of some sort, then we're focusing all of that attention on one leg. Again, great for our asymmetry. If you've got one side that's slightly stronger than the other, if you're very left side or right side dominant, then doing these exercises is really going to build up that resilience and that focus on an individual side. So back knee comes all the way down. Need to go out a little bit further and through there. So again, we're really trying to work and generate space in here. And all that power comes through your front leg. Make sure you don't overbalance. If you do, that's fine. Just take your foot back up and drop down again. And we're really focusing on all of that tension, all of that energy firing through one side. And we're moving away from like being one side dominant and maybe doing a two-footed squat. And my right side, because it's stronger, doing most of the work, because I'm forcing my left side to work of its own accord and make sure that it's sticking with that. Okay, so been through a load of those exercises. We're just going to go through one round of 10 of each of them, nice and quickly, just so we don't forget them. So we're going to start with our box squats. So we're going to drop down, knees over toes, and drive up. Making sure I'm stopping at the bottom before I come up. Nice and slow down and up. So we're looking at 10 reps of this. Make sure you're scanning through your body and everything is perfect and in the right position. So these are all very, very, very important if we're playing sport regularly, but also massively important if you're just a normal person. So all of these exercises are incredibly important to hone and get into your repertoire. Even if you just did 3 rounds of 10 reps of each of these exercises every day, you'd see a massive difference. Strength would improve, and just our general ability to move our body just improves as well. So we're going to do our dips. So down and push. Feet out really far if you want. Knees bent again if you want. And really focus that attention through your triceps. Opening up through the shoulders. Nice. So then we're into our step ups. Again, make sure wherever you're stepping up onto, it's nice and sturdy. If you've got stairs in your house, you can always use the bottom 1 or 2 steps. And you're just going to step up. So we'll do 10 on the right, just leading with the right like so. And then we'll do 10 leading with the left. Good, and then we switch sides. So we're leading with the other leg this time. And you can go as fast or as quick or as slow as you like, really. So again, we're focusing on driving up. Again, it's that single leg variation of essentially a squat pattern. And it's going to help work glutes, quads, hamstrings, and just control through there. Foot elevated press ups. If you're not confident and you just want to do normal press ups, crack on. If you need to drop to your knees, that's fine. If you are nice and strong, then we're going to work on these. Ten of those. Drop jumps. So, stepping up onto my box, onto my chair, onto my stairs, whatever it is, come down, hold. So we're going to do 5 where we just land in that really controlled position. Nice and stable. And then we're going to do 5 where we accelerate up again. So we're looking on that quick contraction and jump up to the sky. The higher your box is, the harder it's going to be. Okay? Single leg squats. So we're going to do 5 on each side. Arms come down. And just make sure we're really focusing on driving up. So, lost count, that was about 3 actually. Woo! That's tough. Remember, this is a really hard exercise. If you can nail this, you're halfway to being really, really strong. So, leg out in front, drop down, and come up. You might find that flexibility of this leg just lets you down a little bit, and that's something to just make a note of, because you might want to just work through some hamstring flexibility, and then that's something again that you track within yourself and you think, do you know what, I need to work on that. And then last thing is our Bulgarian split squats. So foot up, nice and balanced, and up. So 5 on the right, and finish with 5 on the left. And there we go. A few variations, a few really difficult exercises that are great to build into your repertoire. And hopefully, not as high intensity today, not as much of a workout, but hopefully I've explained clearly and concisely about how we can build in sort of variations of exercises, how we make them harder, and hopefully that's been beneficial to you. Come back tomorrow and we'll do something different.